want to make sure everybody understands there's no room for this violence in the city of Salisbury. Our thoughts and prayers go out to the victims, which includes a small, innocent child. Here's what I can confirm. Starting with yesterday's afternoon shooting off of Old Concord Road, a juvenile was shot around 4:30 near the area of South Shaver Street. Officers are actively investigating that incident, and she was transported with non-life-threatening injuries. Last night at 10 p.m., officers responded to reports of a shooting in the 1200 block of South Main Street near the Chestnut Hill Cemetery. Arriving officers located 3 victims, which were 2 young adults and a child. One of the child and one of the adult was hospitalized with life-threatening injuries sustained from the gunshot wounds. The other adult was hospitalized with non-life-threatening injuries and was eventually released from the hospital. Officers are actively investigating this incident also. We realize there are other crimes over the past 2 weeks. We have strong leads in each of these cases, and our detectives are working around the clock to solve these crimes. I cannot, at this time, confirm that any of these cases are related or connected. So what are we doing? After the events on April 13th, we consulted with the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigations and our federal partners to help solve these crimes. These agencies are currently assisting us with these investigations and are in town. We have offered our current officers overtime pay to increase our patrols in the community, including increase in foot patrols. We are continuing to follow up on leads that we have, and we have some good information on the suspects in each case. So what do we need from the community? There are people in our community who know who committed all of these shootings. We need them to come forward and help us. Here are some ways that the community can help. You can private message us on Facebook or our Twitter page at Salisbury NCPD. You can email at investigations at salisburync.gov. You can call the Salisbury Police Department line, 704-638-533, and ask for the investigative line, where you can leave a voicemail. You can do ROCO alerts /Nixle. You can send a text to the number 888-777 with the words "Tip My Salisbury," followed by the information you wish to provide. Or you can visit the Salisbury Police Department tip webpage at salisburync.gov/reportacrime. You can choose the incident that you would like to leave a video for or pictures, and it'll give you instructions on how to do that. If you unclick the "Provide My Information," then you can do so anonymously. Let me reiterate, we will not tolerate this violence in our community. Now is the time for us to come together to combat these issues. I will take questions, but please remember, I'm very limited in what I can answer.
Can you tell us the age of the baby from last night?
It's an infant. I can't tell you the exact age, but it's an infant.
Boy or girl?
I can't tell you that.
Do you have the age of the young juvenile who was shot earlier in the day?
It's a juvenile. I'm not going to release her age due to the age. I'm not going to release it.
Can you speak to their conditions this afternoon? The 2 that were in critical condition?
They are in stable condition as of now. The baby and the adult from last night, they're in stable.
The one that was taken to Baptist, both are in stable, both of the adults are in stable?
The baby and the adult that was taken to Baptist are in stable. The one that was transported to Cabarrus Hospital has been released.
Were either of the female victims from last night the infant's mother?
That I don't know.
Can you talk about this sort of, you touched on the 2 crimes last 2 weeks ago. Chief Smith talked to City Council about how this was a pretty big spike in crime for the area. Can you touch on that a little bit?
I'd reiterate the same thing he said. Our numbers were down, and because of a small amount of incidents, the spike our numbers.
You mentioned stepping up foot patrols. Is there specific areas where this will be happening?
So in our hot spots and areas that these crimes have occurred.
Can you just talk a little bit about what the officers will be doing? I mean, this is extra, this is overtime, but this is obviously something that you guys are trying to work on and trying to cut down the trend.
Sure. When the officers, when they come out on their overtime, they don't answer normal calls. They patrol certain areas. so they wouldn't answer the larceny at Walmart. They're going to stay in that area to be visible.
So they will be in uniform?
Yes.
And it'll be put in vehicle patrols.
Yes.
And are we to believe these were targeted, or should, anyone else be concerned at all at this point?
No, there's no active threat to the community, and we're early in the investigation, so I can't answer that question.
Will this impact security protocols for Tier 1 Festival next month?
No, sir. We've got very, very good protocols in place.
I spoke with some members of the community earlier who were worried that this might be gang-related activity. Are you looking into that?
So we're early in the investigation. We are looking into that, but I cannot confirm or deny that right now.
Any more questions? Can you talk a little bit about, you said federal partners and SBI, how are they helping?
So they bring their own expertise, and they're helping out with interviews and any kind of expertise they bring in, but mainly interviews.
Did you guys just bring them in after last night's?
So the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation helps us out a lot. So they actually have offices in our detective division. So they are normal around here.
What's going through the minds of the officers at Salisbury PD right now? I mean, this is a difficult time. There's a spike in crime. You guys are working really hard, working overtime hours, and responding to two juveniles, an infant and a juvenile being shot last night. What are your feelings as having years of service here?
So it's frustrating. It's very frustrating that the community's impacted by this senseless violence, and that we need the community members that saw it to step up and tell us. Is highly frustrating. Even though some of us may not live in Salisbury city limits, it's our community.
On the same note, Major Cruz, if you were talking directly to the folks here in the community who might see this, glad to see y'all working so hard but still be scared by what's going on here, what would you want to say to them tonight?
I get being scared, and that's why we have multiple ways to contact us and be anonymous. And we ask that they follow those ways. That, if they have a video of the incident, they can share that video, and we don't necessarily need to know who shared it with us. But the fact of the video helps out tremendously. And that's just an example.
Can you confirm that the people in the shooting, the victims, were related to the 26-year-old who was killed at the memorial several weeks ago?
I cannot.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.